John, clearly there must be a sense of real disappointment in your changing room, a 3-1 home defeat. How did you see it?
They were better than us. They were comfortably better than us. Fair play to them, you know, you got to applaud them. Not many teams have come in and did what they did today. I think a big part of the night was the goals changed the games, or changed the game. For 20 minutes, they were better, but not really in it. Nothing really in it, really. They hadn't really created a chance for 20 odd minutes. And then we go asleep, or 23 minutes, 24 minutes, go asleep. And they scored what they would think is a good goal. And then, you know, they took control, they played really well, and you've got to applaud them. They were comfortably better than us for the first period. But the game changed on the second goal. You know, we've gifted them a second goal. We don't go tight to the cross. It's a miss clearance by Matty. You know, I think Jason will feel he should do better. And then the third is a wonder goal that, you know, when we look at it again, possibly we're a little bit critical of our keeper, but it's a wonderful strike, and probably what they deserve for their overall domination in the first half, because they battered us. And sometimes you just have to take a step back and say, on the night we were beaten by a better side. Now history tells you that, or this season tells you, they haven't played like that every week, otherwise they'd be where Northampton are. So the disappointing thing for me is their management team has been able to get their players up for this game more than I've been able to get my players up for the game. And so I think what your first port of call is to look at your own self. You know, we looked at their shape, we looked at our shape. It was pretty much a match-up, but we allowed them to play. And one of our primary focuses in training was to stop them from playing, to press them, and we didn't press them anywhere near like they pressed us. So it was a battle of who was going to press the other team, press the life out of the other team, and they did to us what we weren't able to achieve for them. Now you might say, though, well, they passed the ball better and they made it harder for us to press. And if that's the case, then you have to applaud them and say, well, on the night they had better players than us. But, you know, up to going into this game, and it might be after next Tuesday, we still might have more points than them. So it shows you that throughout the season, when we've been able to do it more consistently than what we did tonight. But on this night, you have to applaud Portsmouth for a magnificent performance.
From your team's point of view, can you put it down to an off night, or just one of those nights where you were punished, or is there more to it, do you think?
Well, you've got to be careful. You've got to be mindful of the fact that you don't disrespect the opposition by saying, oh, well, we were poor, and don't, you know, tip your hat to how good they were. You'd have to think that it would be a combination of the two, because we never really fired, but they didn't really let us fire. So you have to say that, you have to give them full credit for that. The big changes is the goals. Goals change games, and you know, as I said, after 23 minutes, both teams were warming into it. There was nothing in the game. It's pretty much like the FA Cup game, really. And then they've got the goal probably at the same time. And then that was like lighting a touch paper for them, because they destroyed us for 20 minutes, and fair play to them. You know, in that spell they got the goals. I said to our players at half time that we had to get a little bit of pride back. We had to win the second half, which we did. Probably didn't win it on points, but for all Portsmouth's domination, and I know they've hit the bar and they've hit a couple wide, but Jason's only save of the night is off Matty Pearson. So that's another disappointing thing for us. It's really starting to grate us now, that the amount of goals we give up to shots on our goal.
You made changes. You brought on Romy Bocco and young Braden Shaw, and that seemed to really liven you up, particularly young Braden out on that right-hand side, who played his part in the goal.
Yeah, you know, it was a case of, you know, we had to commit ourselves and probably throw more attacking players on than we would like to. You know, Sean and Piero normally do a good defensive job. I don't think they did as good a defensive job as what they could tonight. But I don't think many of us could come out to that game with any credit. And certainly I can't come out to the game with any credit, because I have to, you know, the first person to look for the solution or look for the problem is you've got to look within. So that's what I'll be analysing. I'll be thinking about what my approach is to signing, and try and get it right for Saturday.
is the best thing for you? Another massive game on Saturday, and just try and get it out your system?
We'll give you win. There's no guarantee of winning, You know, what we have to remind ourselves is that, we haven't turned too many of them performances in this season. When they do, they stand out. The worrying thing is we've took 2 points out of 12. Out of them 4 games, we've played quite well in 3 of them. So it's not all doom and gloom. But, we can't let this slip away from us now.
And we talked before this game about the significance of the next 8 days. It still remains that you've got 2 huge fixtures coming up, doesn't it?
We have, yeah. 2 massive home games. And we need the people of Accrington to get behind us. And, a little bit disappointed with the crowd tonight for such a big game. I just implore the people of Accrington to come out and try and rally us on, because in all the times we've been successful here, the people have always come. But like Field of Dreams, build it and they will come. Well, we've built probably the best we've ever had, and they're not coming. And that is very, very frustrating.